Hi, it's Jeannie.
It's L.
INTP.
ENTP. So today we want to talk about what it's like to live in New York.
Yeah. From two NTs who have lived in New York just about all their lives.
Yeah, born and raised.
Yep, born and raised.
That pretty much sums it up.
Mm-hmm. So New York is, and I've traveled to other countries and been to other states. Well,
I know that's right.
It's a place where you can still get, excellent food. I love the melting pot.
You can always get
here.
excellent food here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, and you can get it at a low price point, midpoint, and it still be excellent quality. I love the fact that it's a melting pot. I lived in other places where it hasn't been as diverse, and that's been a culture shock, and it feels very one-dimensional to be there.
And racist.
So, even though it is one of the more expensive places to live in the country, I would...
The most.
No, it's not the most.
Top 3. San Francisco,
5.
I see you.
Anyway, New Hampshire.
Is it? New Hampshire expensive?
Yeah.
For
the New
what?
England states are expensive.
True.
Because of location.
Yeah, I saw like a meme or a picture.
Yeah.
Not a meme, a graph, something that said that the Northeast has 50% of America's wealth. Like...
You can't, but if you travel through the
Where
New
the
England,
climate?
well, we're considered mid-Atlantic, which I think is a misnomer.
We're considered mid-Atlantic in New York?
Yeah, we're considered mid-Atlantic. So
To who?
Anyway, to whoever drew
Lies.
the map, but I'm gonna count it in the New England spectrum. It's true. If you drive around New England, New England is beautiful. It has a high standard of living.
New England includes what?
Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, Rhode Island,
Haven't been to half
Massachusetts,
those
and
places.
Connecticut. So it's true. You go through those places. The food is great. The food quality is great. Support of small businesses. New England's just beautiful. And we get the 4 seasons.
Yeah, but we were talking about New York.
Oh, well, okay, let's go back.
In New York. When you guys think of a New York song, do you think of the Frank Sinatra version or the Jay-Z Alicia Keys?
I like the Alicia Keys only.
I go back and forth.
No, but I like the Alicia Keys only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think of that.
Why would you think of that?
It's 50-50. Sometimes I'm in the mood for that little Frank Sinatra,
I don't know what she's talking about.
putting you in your feels, you know.
I like the Alicia
Your
Keys version.
eyes well up.
No, Alicia Keys is a little bit more gritty, a little bit of what feels like to be New York now.
Gritty? Well, she does sing a little. Anyway. Back to New
No
York.
disrespect, sort.
And New York, let's be clear, is not just New York City. I love New York City. Lived there for quite a few years.
I've worked in New York City.
It also includes Long Island. It includes...
Westchester.
And that's it.
We have a ton of amenities.
Amenities? Like what?
Amenities. Just things are close. You don't have to drive a half hour for a supermarket.
Right.
Things are close. There's a ton of variety. Things are open late.
A lot of options.
Yeah, you just have a ton of options. And I think when you leave this space, it feels like you're being gypped.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm here in this country, but I'm getting ripped off.
I have something to reveal.
Here we go.
Whenever I travel to another place, or have even lived, I've lived in other places for a few months at a time, but whenever I've traveled to another place, Miami, California, whatever, for some reason, I'm always hit with this incredible homesickness at some point during the trip. I don't know why. I mean, I have a return flight. I'm coming home. But I don't know. There's just something about New York City especially, that just kind of like dug its hooks into me. And when I'm there, I just feel like I'm in my groove. I'm in my rhythm. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing.
Well, maybe that's a lot of it. You know where you're going. Maybe when you're other places and you're brand new, you don't know.
Good directional
maybe
ability.
That's why you don't like it.
Try not to get lost. It's really not that hard. It's a grid, people. It's a grid.
They know what a grid looks like. We know what grids look like.
North, south, east, west. Well,
Yeah,
you
well,
guys are seeing it the other way.
people
but
still get lost.
East, west.
So no comments.
There you go. But, okay, so what are some positives of New York for you? And then we'll talk about negatives.
Well, the positives are, again, the diversity, the options, and the fact that it's a beautiful part of the country to live in.
Is it?
Yeah, you have beaches, you have mountains, you have the four seasons. We don't have insane weather concerns. So
although we are having a snowstorm right as we speak.
Yeah, but it's not like it's a snowstorm the whole winter. So anyway, so those are my positives for me.
My positives, I feel like this is kind of New York City centric, which is kind of unfair. But diversity, tons to do, just anything you could think of. And the best of the best always comes here. Like if an artist is having a concert, they always have a stop in New York City.
That's
like
true.
It's never a question.
And it is inexpensive to fly out of if you want to go to Europe.
That's the other thing.
The Caribbean.
You can fly straight out of New York City.
It's super inexpensive. Yeah. I just saw a flight for like under $200 to Hawaii from New York.
Well, that's because we're still in quarantine.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They're offering no, it doesn't matter. They're offering that because you're coming out of New York. JFK, LaGuardia. They throw in Newark in there, but let me just be clear, Newark is New Jersey.
Yeah, it's crazy that we have 3 airports when some places have none.
They have one. What do you mean they have none?
Some places have none. Like some places you have to drive 5 hours to the nearest airport. Or like not all flights leave from that nearest airport, so you have to drive to the next one.
Yeah, but don't say none. Don't say none. That's an exaggeration, as usual.
Raggedy. So, where was I at? 2 options, yeah. Diversity options. There's just plenty to do. What's number 3?
Didn't you say 3 already?
I don't know. Maybe. What is number 3? We'll leave it at that. That might just be it.
Yeah. What are the downsides?
Oh, number 3. You know what's the best part about living in New York City? When you date and you cut someone off or break up with someone, you never have to see them again because there are so many people. That's my 3rd positive.
All right, let's move on to the negatives. It is an expensive city, an expensive area. So that sometimes can feel daunting, and it feels like you're spending a lot of your money on living expenses versus enjoying what the area has.
Yeah, the rent blows here.
Yeah, the rent. I think the rent is the worst thing, actually. It's the rent.
Big time.
Otherwise, I've been to other states. Gas is the same. Food and clothing are the same. It really is.
I'm also going to add winter to that negative.
No, do not add winter. Winter is nicer. No. I like all the seasons.
I'm a summer baby.
So then leave then. Then leave New York.
Working on it. Anyone know anything, call me. Yeah, rent is a killer here. I was watching a TikTok. I love TikTok. It was like some real estate agent, I think, in Houston. And she was doing a video of like a really modern 1-bedroom apartment. Washer, dryer, dishwasher, spacious. Yeah, and it was literally $1,000. And it's like, that will be double, triple here.
Yeah. Easy.
In the city, that'd be double, triple. Maybe in Long Island or Westchester, it would be double.
Yeah. Just, it's all about the same, so...
So yeah, the rent here is a killer. Sometimes I see rents where I'm like, who even makes that in a month, let alone is able to pay that?
And they do, because they offer the rent.
I know that's right. Mm-hmm. Money.
So, and some activities are expensive. In New York, some activities could be expensive for people who are just paying rent.
All that underground stuff. There's a lot of underground stuff in New York City. Not that I would know. I just heard about it. But go ahead.
No comment. That's all I have to say. So,
What else? But yeah, what kind of activities are expensive now that I think about it?
Well, if you want to go to an opera, the ballet, a jazz club, you want to go sometimes to a museum.
A little Broadway show.
Yeah, a Broadway show.
A little exclusive.
Even some of these, anywhere.
Little space.
Let me talk.
Go ahead.
Goodness gracious.
Extrovert.
And even some of like an exquisite dining experience, but I guess that could be anywhere. You know,
I feel like with New York too, you're always kind of like assured in what you're getting. Like whenever I paid a lot of money to go to a show or go eat at a certain place, it's like the food has been good, the service has been great, the show has been amazing. So
yeah,
it's not like you're paying out the behind for these like subpar experiences or like reheated frozen food. Although, you know, no shade to those who like that.
Shade.
So wait, did you do your 3 negatives? Did I do my 3 negatives? No. What's your third?
High rent. Sometimes the experiences can be expensive, and at times there's not too many negatives for me.
Maybe the fact that outside of New York City it can get a little sketch racially.
We're not going to go into that. Anyway,
that's for the next video.
Anyway.
My top 3 negatives. Winter. I do think it's difficult to make and keep friends here. Especially in New York City, people come and go so fast and so often. And frankly, one thing I've heard from a lot of people who have worked in New York City who maybe aren't from there, they feel like the people are very jaded. And
that is true. Because I did work in Manhattan.
Yeah,
that is true.
It wears on them.
It does. People need to have an out. If you live and or work in New York City, you definitely need to have an outlet where you can disconnect.
That's why I think so many people have a house in the Hamptons. So,
yeah,
there goes that.
We could have that, but we're not saying.
Working on it. So, yeah, winter. Hard to make and keep friends. Yeah, and it is expensive. And sometimes you do wonder if it's worth the cost of what you're paying, especially during times like COVID where everything shut down. There was a mass exodus out of
Y'all should have never left. Because the numbers are down.
What kills me is I haven't even seen like the numbers or prices really drop for these rentals. I've seen more vacancies, but have I seen them drop in price? No,
nothing's dropped in price.
So it's a scam as usual.
We're not
sad.
We're not touching that either. Thank you.
So wait, would we recommend it overall?
I think I would recommend it. I think everybody should live in New York City-ish area for a year of their lives. I think it's a great experience. There's a lot of growth. The diversity is amazing. The options are amazing, and yeah, it's a huge mind opener. So why not? If you can do it, do it.
I do agree. I would recommend it. I think that this has been proven somewhere too, but
here we go.
Apparently, for every year you live in New York City, it's about 5 years in another place. And I feel like I can attest to that. I learned a lot in the time I was living there. And you're just exposed to so much. And I feel like you always just come out a better, wiser person.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't forget the saying, if you can make it in New York,
you can make it anywhere. Thanks, guys.
Toodles.